everyone knows you're fighting, but you think no one knows you're fighting, you know? You need a Starbucks now? We're about to board the plane. Get a Starbucks on the plane.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio. All right, guys, we've got part 2 of the big show coming up right now. We hear about Greg Olsen's whisper fight. Whisper fight. Well, stop it. Explain what that means.
Yeah. Also, is this guy quiet or loud when he comes home late night from a road trip? And last but not least, his favorite Travis Kelce story. You do not want to miss that and a whole lot more coming up next on the big show.
Big show.
With the big guy.
All right. Do you want to start asking him these headline questions that we've answered before and get my man's take on it? Because Greg is one of the most hilarious people I've ever met.
Yes. And Greg, we love you. And for anyone that doesn't know how funny Greg is, you're about to find out if you haven't already. Because you're familiar with the Calm Down podcast and the random things we talk about, which yesterday Howie, again, long pulled me aside and said, you guys got to be real careful about what you say on that podcast. I go, Howie, what did we say now? And he goes, and when are you listening to this? He goes, 5 hours from Virginia, long flight every week. He goes, just be careful. God, Howie, Dad's keeping track of us. Okay. So wait, do you have them pulled up, E?
I have them. So we did one. I'll start. So there was an article out last week, Greg. We go for the hard-hitting news about wearing socks to bed. I think I talked to you a little bit about this. Just, are you a person that wears used socks to bed? Because apparently it's as worse as like sleeping inside of a toilet. It's as bad as sleeping in a toilet. There's like cockroach feces on it. There's like all the disgusting dirt. And then people are actually putting that in your bed. Thoughts on wearing socks to bed, yes or no?
100,000% no.
Did you do it? You're a very sweaty person, so you probably can't like.
I'm showering. My daily activity, whatever I wear throughout the course of any part of my day, there is going to be a buffer, which is a shower prior to me getting underneath the covers. There is no like go in raw dog with what I'm wearing all day and getting into bed. Like that's not happening. There's a shower, there's a fresh pair of pants, fresh pair of shorts, whatever it is, before I pull those sheets down and get under the covers. There's nothing on my body that was worn for 1 minute during the day when I get in bed.
Okay, except for when you came on the road with that outfit that you wore for 2 straight days.
No, I'll wear it during the day. I just won't get in bed with it. So full disclosure on that story, because I know that made the Calm Down podcast weeks ago. I have so here's what I pack, and my wonderful wife, she's the one who actually packs this for me. So I'm like that guy who doesn't pack his own shit. Like when I open my suit the morning of the game, I have no idea what it looks like. I don't have a clue what anything in my bag is.
Matt Castle.
So I wear
Matt,
Lauren,
tough look, man.
And don't blame it on
wife.
Lauren.
She's busy dealing with the 12 kids. Come on, Matt. Be better. Okay. Next.
So anyway.
Bump set spike, Lauren.
We'll save that for episode 66.
Amazing.
Perfect.
So I show up in like a casual outfit when I fly in, and then I bring an outfit for dinner, and then I typically fly home. If I have a chance to change after the game, I'll just put on what I flew home in. So I only bring the outfit I wear, and then I have to pack an outfit for dinner and a suit. And then like all my toiletry shit. It's like, that's all I bring. I'm a minimalist. I don't bring any extra shoes. I wear 1 pair of shoes. I wear them the whole weekend. I'm a minimalist. That night we went to dinner and it was in the hotel and everyone was kind of casual. So I was like, I don't need to put on like jeans or like long pants and a collared shirt. And I was like, I'm just going to wear what I have on. The problem is that was only intended to fly in. Then I was supposed to see everybody for dinner in a different outfit and then fly home in that outfit from the day before and not see anyone. So my issue was
it got interrupted.
It was a night game. So we had like a morning production meeting. So I showed up, said hi to everyone, came to dinner, same outfit. That's my next day casual outfit. I'm just not supposed to wear it to dinner. So I literally saw them at 4 p.m. and until like noon the next day, every time anyone saw me, I was in the exact same outfit.
Amazing.
Hey, you know what?
And I had toothpaste on my pants. That was
it was great.
Story.
Sure you did.
So it wasn't great. So that's that story. That's why I had on the same clothes. But long story short, no, I'm not getting in bed with anything that I wear throughout the course of the day. Starting fresh, shower, clean clothes, bed, start the next morning.
Perfect. Okay, so to give you a little context again on all these are just questions that like Erin and I go through, but we love a guy's perspective. So I won't even ask you the underwear inside out because we don't even need that for this one. No. Okay, judging strangers and knowing their backstory without talking to them. So Erin and I have this thing, you know Erin very well now, as having spent the last year and a half with her on the road. I will sit down at a restaurant. I will see a couple or friends or a group of people. I have like the diagnostic is crazy. I'm like, I've given them jobs. I've given them names.
You know the backstory.
I know what the drama. Yeah, like I know what they're fighting about. I know that there's like drama in their marriage. Are you good? I feel like you would. I already know the answer to this. Are you good about assessing the situation?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. I know if it's their first date, their last date. If they've been going together for a long time, shit's good at home, shit's not good at home. Is this a makeup date because the husband forgot her birthday? Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, if you ask me, I've got it nailed. Obviously, I can never confirm any of my preconceived notions, but
we should actually do that. We should all go out. We should diagnose someone in the restaurant and then go up to them and see if what we think is actually happening. It's only fun if we're all together, though.
We think they're on their first date. They've been married for 35 years.
Let's find out. Let's see how good we are at this game. I'm into it.
Yeah, fair enough. That's a good exercise for sure.
Okay, our next one. Charissa had a mishap where she let Steve, her boyfriend, handle the details of a friend's wedding that they went to this past summer. She didn't get all the details. She ended up thinking that she looked like one of the band members that was performing at the wedding. Is it your responsibility to properly inform your wife of the dress code or her responsibility to find out?
That's her responsibility.
No!
Yeah, there's not a lot of, and listen, I'm just speaking from my own perspective in my own marriage. There's zero logistics being done by me.
Yeah. I know that.
I'm not, and Erin knows this. I don't know what hotel we're at. I don't know what time we're leaving for the game.
Me neither.
I don't know
who's
shit
playing.
About Adam. Yeah, exactly. I find out who the teams are the night before. I'm not a real heavy detail guy. So in my family, in my relationship, my marriage, my wife is what time we're leaving, what's the expectation of the dress code, who's going to be there, what is the event for, who are we going to see, what time we're leaving, how are we getting there, who has the tickets. I'm doing nothing.
Okay,
Zero.
And great. I'm exactly the same way. Erin will text me and be like, what hotel are you at this week? Or like, whatever. I don't know. I'm on my way. I'm literally in the car from the airport. I don't know.
I'm at whatever
wherever
hotel
the driver takes me.
Yeah, 100%. Wherever the driver stops out front, that hotel sounds great.
And the best is when they give you the address. They're like, all right, we're going to 123 Orange Avenue. I'm like,
great.
Yeah, if that's where you're taking me, that sounds great.
The driver could be taking me to an abandoned warehouse in the middle of
kill you.
Detroit to murder me. And I'm like, that sounds great. I'm looking forward to it. How far are we?
And I brought one pair of shoes and one sweatshirt.
And I have one outfit, so you better not change the venue on me.
Well, the backstory, though, is it was Steve's friend like that was getting married. Like, these were new friends to me. It's his side of the aisle that was getting married. And so I'm like, hey, what are we wearing? He's like, oh, something casual. It's a Western themed wedding. I walked downstairs looking like fucking Montgomery Gentry's backup singer.
You look like Beth. You look like Beth from Yellowstone.
I did. I thought, is this Halloween? Trick or treat, and everyone else is in full length like gowns, like it was a formal wedding. I was like, I literally had I had a hat on like you have on right now, and I looked at Kelly Stafford and I go, do you think it'll help if I take the hat off? She goes, yeah, take the hat off. And I'm like, well, I can't because the extensions haven't been washed in 4 days. So I said, fuck it, I'm just leaving this outfit on. At one point, I thought they were going to look at me for the entertainment halfway through the wedding to see whose bed have these boots been under. Fuck.
That's incredible.
Asshole. Okay. Next.
Wait, Greg, did you have a story?
That's so good.
I thought you had something.
It doesn't involve me, but every time I think about showing up to a wedding ill prepared, I have a buddy through my older brother, that had a buddy that went to a wedding in India.
Okay. I think okay.
And he's like a white guy. Like, he's a white guy from, and he showed up to a wedding in India. So he's like, I want to be respectful of their traditions.
Yeah.
So he goes out and he buys traditional Indian formal apparel.
Oh, no.
He shows up to a wedding in India. The only fucking person dressed in traditional Indian garb. Every other male there is in like a suit. He goes, I walk in and I'm the only white guy in the whole fucking place. I'm dressed like I'm in a fucking movie. And all these people are looking at me like this stupid American is like mocking our culture.
Yeah.
And he's like, little did I know, I'm trying to be respectful. So every time I think about people ill prepared for weddings, I think of that story and it makes me die.
Yeah. So there wasn't an issue of disrespecting culture. It was disrespecting theme in this particular case. We went formal and I went Western wear. It was in Montana. And so it was like, hey, Western, but that apparently was the night before. And the actual wedding was black tie. So standing next to Troy Aikman in a fucking tux, I'm like, hey, want my autograph? I'm a Shania Twain impersonator. God. So, and this is what makes it worse. Steve doubles down as he's in a tux. And he goes, which should have been my first clue. As he's putting the tux on, I'm like, hey, where's your bolo tie? Like, I thought this was a Western thing.
Well, that was going to be my question. Like, at what point was it just the women were going to go Western and like the men were going to go traditional?
Disaster.
Like, she's She's not good with those details at all.
You know what, Greg? We show up and we're the entertainment, apparently.
Listen, my role in the entire event is once I get there.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, on a flight, do you chat with your seat neighbor or sit in silence and keep to yourself? What is your etiquette on flights?
I'm overly nice when I sit down, like because I'm a window guy. So
I feel like you have a lot happening when you sit down too. Like there's a lot happening.
Yeah,
I know there's a lot happening. Fuck, you're sweating. You got shit everywhere. You're calling Karen, the kids to say goodbye. I feel like there's a lot.
So I'm a window. I love sitting on the window because I don't want to have to sit in the aisle because A, my leg gets bumped, and B, I don't want to get up if the person in the other seat has to go to the bathroom.
My leg gets bumped.
But I'm always late getting on the plane. So I'm always the second person in my little 2-seat, little pairing to get in their seat. So the person has to get up and let me in and whatnot. I always say hello. I always, I hope you're having a good day, blah, 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 blah. I get that all out of the way. And then it's like headphones on, head against the window. I'm done. And if I'm not falling asleep, I'm pretending I'm asleep. I don't drink. I don't eat. I don't accept anything from the flight attendants. I'm in the corner. I'll hold my pee for 12 hours. I'm not getting up to go to the bathroom. I'm not getting a drink. I'm not getting food. I'm sitting in my corner. And when the wheels hit the ground, I reappear to the rest of the world.
Why don't you have water?
I get my own like bottled water. Like I'll get a snack at like the news place, and I'll get like I'll get a snack and an M&M and a bottled water. But I like never accept anything from the flight attendant. I don't know why. It could be a 12-hour flight or a 45-minute flight. Once I sit down, I'm on my own deal. I don't.
Are you afraid of food poisoning? What's going on? What do you mean you don't accept?
No.
Like what's happening?
I don't know. I don't really even have a real reason behind it. It's just the way I am. I just shake off. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Like he gives me a curveball and I want to throw a fastball.
Where's Greg Maddox? I like to go slower. All right. Dogs at restaurants. Okay or not?
This is a tough one.
Why?
I'm married to a dog lover. I have 2 dogs. I have 2 German Shepherds that are awesome. They're very well trained. They listen for the most part. My older dog really is good. So I have a skewed reality of like what an obedient dog is. So if you're going to bring your obedient dog and it's going to lay under the table and not interfere with anyone, great. And we're sitting, I'm all for it. The problem is nobody trains their dogs. Everyone thinks their dogs are like their kids and like they're obligated and entitled to just like free roam of the restaurant and that everyone wants to see their dog. Like, I don't want to step over your dog to go to the bathroom. So if you're going to bring your dog, fine, but that thing should lay underneath your feet. It should not be in any of the territory of the aisles. The waiters should not be stepping over it. The waitresses should not be like kicking your dog as they serve me my food. And if you can do that, then bring your dog. More power to you. But if your dog's going to be like a social butterfly and just have its way around the restaurant, then I'm not interested.
Can you please tell your dog in the Luke Kuechly story? Please tell Charissa that story, or do you not want to?
No, I would love to. So
my God,
I have a German Shepherd. I have a German Shepherd. So it's COVID. So it's 2020. It's COVID spring. I'm training to get ready to go to Seattle. And Luke has since retired, and he's training with me because the world has come to a stop. So I had like a small gym above my garage, and we would work out in the morning. So it's early in the morning. I don't know. It's 8 a.m., 9 a.m., whatever it is. And only my youngest son is awake. So at the time he's 7, 8. He's young, and he's sitting at the kitchen table, and he's like having cereal. And I'm upstairs in the gym, and Luke lets himself in the side door. And he sees TJ through the window sitting by himself at the like little kitchen island having breakfast. But he doesn't see my ginormous 80-pound German Shepherd sitting next to him on the ground. So Luke lets himself in quietly. I'm upstairs, and he's like, I'm going to scare TJ. So he comes around the corner real quiet, and he's like, and he like makes a big like startling noise to try to scare TJ. Well, my dog, whose name is Tucker, my older male, he jumps into action, and he stands up. And now he's big now. He's like, so I hear Tucker go crazy. So I come running down the stairs from upstairs in the gym, and he has Luke pinned up against the wall.
Luke Kuechly.
Who, those of you that don't know who Luke Kuechly is not small.
No.
Not small. All-pro Hall of Fame linebacker. And he has Luke pinned up against my kitchen wall.
Holy
and he
shit.
is just whoa, 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 whoa. And
what's
TJ
Luke doing?
Is dying. He's up against the wall, like pinned, like frozen. And I come down and I give him like the friend command that tells him to just like let his guard down and go back to his little bed. And to this day, when Luke comes over our house, he's like, "Where's Tucker? Come here, Tucker." And like Tucker has to come over and like he'll give him a little pet. But like he has been startled. It's like a running joke every time I see Luke. I'm like, "Hey, don't worry. Tucker's not here. He's not going to pin you against the wall."
Oh my God. That takes a lot to scare that guy. That's great. Greg, I know you have a vacation to get to, but hold on. I really need to know your thoughts on this because you're such a gentleman. You're a great husband. You're a great father. You're a great teammate.
His kids are so well behaved and lovely, and I want Max Stoll to be just like them.
Yes. All of the above.
Thank you.
But if your wife wants to go get a Starbucks and you guys are on a connecting flight, okay? And you've heard the announcement, like they're boarding yours. Now, again, you get on late to the plane like I do. So this may, be an indication of what you're going to say. But she wants to go get a Starbucks and you're like, "Hey, we're cutting it close. Like, don't go get a Starbucks." So she's like, "Hey, I'm going to. I want to." So you go to the plane and then the plane is going to take off and she's not there yet. Do you get off the plane and make sure that she is with you, or do you stay
This is
on
an
the
article.
plane?
This was a headline.
This is a real story. The guy left without his wife. He was like, "She took too long. I told her not to go to Starbucks." What would you do?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't board without her.
Because you don't know how. It would have
probably been like a whisk. Well, true. I probably didn't have it. The problem is my boarding pass was probably on her phone.
Yes.
But, but I think if I put myself in that situation, I wouldn't have boarded the plane without her. There would have been like a whisper fight, like a really like silent whisper fight saying like, "Why are you going to get a Starbucks right now?" So there would have been like a whisper, like a whisper fight back and forth where like we think we're the only, but like everyone knows you're fighting, but you think no one knows you're fighting, So there probably would have been like one of those going on. Hopefully I would have won the fight. Unlikely that I did.
Yep.
If there was no line at Starbucks, I probably would have hung tight. And I would not have boarded the flight without her. I could prove.
You're a gentleman. That's what I thought was going to happen.
That would be the case. But if she put us in that position, the whisper fight would have escalated.
The whisper fight. Is this a common Olsen term? A whisper fight?
So my wife and I always had this joke, like when the twins were little, we didn't sleep for like a year. Again, it was probably 2 months, but in our mind, it's a year. And like we had this running joke that like as long as in the morning, whatever happened in the middle of the night didn't count. So like the twins wouldn't sleep, they'd alternate. You're tired, you're being mean. Like whatever we whisper fighted in the middle of the night, when we woke up in the morning, like when our eyes opened and it was morning time, we would like check in and be like, "Are we good?" Like nothing that happened, that happened throughout the night counted. We'd start fresh in the morning, and the whisper fights, they don't count. So that was kind of our like deal for us, and it got us through like the first year of having the twins. And we've always tried to stick to that plan. Like if we're gonna fight, we got to fight. But if we're whisper fighting, it doesn't count.
I'm just trying to get a sense of what whisper fighting is, because in our house it'd be like, "You're such an asshole." Like, but I can't imagine whispering. Like, what's a whisper fight?
Whisper fighting is whisper fighting is
stop it. Stop.
Like, you need a fucking Starbucks now? We're about to board the plane. Get a Starbucks on the plane. Or like, when the babies were small, it was like, "I'm fucking trying. Why don't you try to put them to sleep? You're going to wake up your sister." You know what I mean? Like, you want to say everything, but you're talking like, "I'm trying. What do you think I'm doing?" So that whisper fighting is like not a real fight.
Oh, and my face hurts.
We were on the same page with that. So that got us, that's why we were able to get through having twins.
We call that a Mr. and Mrs. in our house. If you're having a fight, well, we had a Mr. and Mrs. yesterday. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It counts. And as long as like you don't end the day or start the day on whatever that fight is, it's good.
Okay. So
as long as it doesn't linger, you're good.
Greg, I'd be remiss because Erin is very great at impersonations. She's done it of Sean McVay. She's done it of myself. She's done it of you and Kev. I need you to give me your best Erin Andrews impersonation.
Fuck.
It could be anything. It could be on the sideline. It could be in a meeting. It could be at dinner the night before. I need you to put together and think about it. I don't want you to rush. I'm putting you on the spot here. But this chick is great at calling out other people. So I think that you need to, having spent the most time with her over the last year and a half on the road in various, positions, give me your best Erin Andrews impersonation in any setting.
Wow, this is a lot of pressure. I have to be honest. This is a lot of pressure. I'm not prepared. This is impromptu. I would love to hear Erin's impression of me, first of all.
Okay, Erin, go.
My favorite one ever is when I don't want to say the team because I don't want to put them on the spot, but we were at...
I know what you're going to say.
It's my favorite. We're like...
all the way. By the way, very few people can make Erin cry laughing. This is Greg Olsen to her on like a daily occurrence.
Every week in our meetings. I asked him, how I asked you, Chris, if you took a Xanax when you do our in-game breaks, because you're like, and the Bears are losing 41-0.
Can we talk about the in-game? Can we, before we do it?
I'll tell you why I have to do
it. Let's talk about it. Go, Greg.
So
well, how did this turn from I need to make fun of Erin to now we're back on me? How did this happen?
We're gonna get to Erin in a minute. But I said this to Erin the other day, actually, at our production meeting. If I have a great thought, a great replay, I'm like, this is gonna be a great moment of the game. You can bet your bottom dollar I'm gonna get whispered in my ear, "We're gonna go to Charissa with a game break." 100 out of 100 times. 100 out of 100 times. And I'm like, that was the most interesting play of the last 45 minutes. I had nothing to say for 45 minutes. I got a great play.
It's not
cool
my fault.
point. We're going to go to Chris on a game break. And then it's like, thanks, Kev.
Thanks, Kev.
Here we have the Vikings. The Vikings and the Chargers. Fourth quarter. Justin Herbert going back. Connects. Mike Williams, 6 points. Cuts the lead to 27-24. Back to you, Kev. You know what I mean? Like
a careless
and by that point, by that point, 3 plays have been run, and no one gives a shit about my point from 4 plays ago.
But I looked at Greg.
Thing.
Go, babe.
I have to say just Kev, because I want to say all your guys' names, but there's 12 of you on the staff, so I can't get through them. So I just got to cut it down to Kev, okay? I don't decide when the game breaks come through. Half the time I'm not paying attention. All I hear is, let's go to Charissa. And I'm quickly hoping that it's the right highlight sheet that I have in front of me, because half the time I'm talking to somebody else or saying something inappropriate. And praying that it doesn't end up on the microphone. I was like, I've had so many panic moments where Terry Bradshaw's been sitting next to me and saying, God knows what. And all of a sudden I hear, all right, let's go to Charissa. And I'm like having to cover his mouth because I'm like, this guy, you never know what you're going to get. But anyways.
So
that's great.
I said Charissa took like a Xanax on doing those production meetings. Greg is, again, one of the best teammates I've ever had. And like, he is in our production meetings. I just have to say this. And you asked me what my favorite line is, and then he can absolutely bury me right now. He comes to production meetings and he's ready. Like, it's not a whisper fight. It is like, I asked him this past weekend, I go, did you take speed? Like, he's just like, so we have to tell America the story. Like, we have to tell America the story. And I sit there, Rich Gross, another one of my all-time favorites who I die for.
The sweetest
Grossy and I look
ever.
at each other all the time with Greg because we love him so much. And we're just like, like, it's insane. But Greg, last year we were talking about in defense. We had a really fun meeting, and actually Greg brought us all gifts and he brought us like tequila and we started drinking it, and it was so much fun. And we allow Greg to have the floor, and he sits there and he basically diagnoses the whole game. He gives us his thoughts on everything. He's mid-sentence. He's like just, talking to us about this defense, and he goes, guys, I just have to tell you. He sticks his giant paw in a bowl of tortilla chips. He shoved it in his mouth and he goes, their defense is in a real free fall. I looked at Kevin. I was like, I'm deceased. They're in a free fall.
That's a true story.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I gave my best follow-up. I had like 4 baskets of chips in the meeting this past weekend in Kansas City. I hadn't eaten all morning. And
you don't accept from the flight attendant, so how could you?
I don't eat.
Yeah.
You're
not accepting anything she's offering. This guy.
I don't eat airplane food.
I'm with you.
I guess my favorite thing about EA.
Oh God.
Is
I'm crying.
I don't know if it's much of it's like an impression or like my favorite thing about EA is she knows she has like the story, the interview, like she has it. But as she's getting it out, it's like, listen, guys, I don't have the fucking thing. I have no idea. I'm a mother. Do you guys realize? But like, she has to go through like the whole self-deprecate. I'm a mother. And then at the end, she like lays it out. And we're like, yeah, EA, that's your open. That's your question. You know damn well what you want to say.
No,
and,
I don't.
You're the fucking best. And anyone who's ever done this, like, you got it. Like, we can skip to that part. Like, that's my favorite thing about EA. It's
qualifier.
Yeah, it's like qualifier, self-deprecate, I'm a mother, self-deprecate, self-qualify, and then the last part.
I haven't washed my hair in a week.
I have horrible acne. Have you seen my nose? It's a crater. I'm like, EA, first of all, no one has seen your zit. No one's noticed. Since you brought attention to it, I still don't see it. And you know exactly what you're going to say, and it's going to be fucking great. So, like,
cute.
That's my best thing about EA. Like, in all honesty, this is a God's honest truth. You could ask my wife. Coming down here, we actually had a full conversation. Like, when Erin is, like, in the moment, like yesterday with Mahomes, there's nobody better.
I texted her immediately. I was like, perfect.
She was.
But I texted or I talked to Greg before we did it because I was like, Greg, I'm panicking.
No, but that was our pregame. She's like, guys, I can't do it. I can't. And then she gets on air and it's like, yeah, Erin, that's it. Just do like she is. And I know she's going to be embarrassed. When the light comes on, she is so good at asking questions in a way that comes across organic and natural and personable, that whoever she's interviewing, it could be Patrick Mahomes, it could be Kelsey, it could be whoever. Their guard goes down. They don't feel like it's a gotcha. And she's able to ask the question that everybody wanted to know. Did you feel pressure throwing the ball to Kelsey, knowing Taylor Swift's sitting in his box? That's a hard question to ask.
Whoa.
That's a weird question to ask. But I'll tell you what, when Erin asks it, it comes across as so normal. It comes across as non-threatening. It comes across as so fun. And that's why you get the answer Mahomes gave her, which ended up being the story of the entire game. And like, that's Erin's gift. And that's and that's why every time she goes through that, I'm like, Erin, stop. You know, you're going to crush the question. You're going to crush the interview. I have no patience for the rest of it. You know what I mean? But like, there's no one better framing the question everybody at home wants to know and getting it in a very personable and fun manner than Erin. And that's her gift. That's why she is so good.
I concur. It's all about the relationship that you have created over years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I appreciate the help. Like, because you do. Sometimes going into half, I'm like, Greg, what do I ask him? What do I do?
Yeah, but that's why you're good teammates.
It's a team effort. It's a team effort. That's the way it works. Okay,
Greg, you got to get back to your alohas and mahalos since it's a day and a half vacation.
She's sleeping. I don't even know what I'm going to do.
What are you going to go do? What do you do on Mondays after a game? Like, I don't even know this about you. We're always coaching. We're always with the kids. What do you do? You don't even like crack open like an article or two?
Nope. Monday is my day. On a typical Monday when I'm in Charlotte, which is 99% of my days, for 2 days a year, my wife and I come down here by ourselves, and we always do it the week of her birthday. So this is just by chance that 2 days. But 99% of our year on a Monday, we are in Charlotte. We'll get them off to school in the morning. Karen and I will go to breakfast or we'll do something like that. And then we kind of go our separate ways. She does her tennis thing. I go do whatever. And Monday is our day, my day. The kids don't have sports. We don't have practice. I don't read an article. I close out all my stuff from the week before, close out all those documents on my computer, save everything to the folder for future reference, and just have a day. Just collect, regroup, whatever. And then Tuesday morning, I jump back into it. So Monday, I'm not doing nothing. I couldn't even tell you who we're calling this weekend. I need 1 day a week where I'm just like, I'm not worried about a sports scan article. I'm not worried about a PFF report about how Mac Jones does on 3rd and 7+. I don't give a shit. For 1 day, I don't care.
I don't give a shit.
Greg, I say this, and I know we all like joke, whatever, but you did win an Emmy for the best, I don't know what the actual category, but the best newcomer, like whatever the actual title is on your Emmy, which isn't it bullshit? You have to buy your own Emmy. I think that's crazy. Like, here's the award. Now you have to go buy it.
I bought my Emmy. I bought that?
No, I bet they give it to you.
I had to buy mine. I won one for extra and I've had to pay $450 for that thing. So maybe they don't.
I wonder if maybe Fox. Maybe.
Well, congratulations.
That's the first thing. Well, congratulations to me. Congratulations to me. When I'll call Extra back and let them know I'm not interested. But, maybe they payroll deducted it. To be honest with you, I have no idea.
Probably. You probably paid for it somewhere.
I do have my ammo. As you can see, my shelves are empty.
So
thank you.
And Ryan, our wonderful producer, because he's a great producer, it's outstanding personality and emerging talent. Okay, so here's the question. Did you, when you were playing, because there's all these guys that are like, oh, I'll just get into broadcasting after, like it's some foregone conclusion. Did you, know that you were interested in doing broadcasting after you play? Was it something that you were like, I'm going to be great at this? Or like sort of when did you, and you won't pat yourself on the back because that's not who you are, but did it come naturally to you? Or has it been sort of this process? What's your experience so far been in broadcasting? Because the award has come, but how have you felt about the process?
Yeah, so there was no moment where I ever, and this is the truth, there was no moment where I said to myself, like, you know what? My career's coming to an end. I think I can go do TV. It did not happen like that. It really was a very organic, natural kind of random process. And it really all started. So it was like 2000, I think it was like 2015 off season, either 2014 or 15 off season. I was out in LA. I was in Manhattan Beach by Erin, visiting my buddy Ryan and his wife, Natalie. And we were out there, and I had done some stuff with a local regional network before Fox sold off all their regional networks. There was a regional network called Fox Sports South, and it was in Charlotte. And I did like ACC football on Mondays. I was still playing, Mondays I would go into like a random studio at the Fox office in Charlotte, and I would do like a recap show that I'm sure nobody watched. I don't know if any, I don't know who ever watched it. I don't even know what channel it was on, but it was Fox Sports South was the network name. And then Fox Sports South did a show called The Panel, which was like the year, God, who was coming out of the draft? Sammy Watkins from Clemson was in the draft. Whoever it was, and there was like a bunch of draft guys who went down to Atlanta. Long story short, I did like some regional stuff with the Fox Regional Network. And then that offseason in 2015, they asked me to come in while I was out in LA visiting Ryan and his wife to come into the studio and do like an audition game and call a game, in the studio. So I went and did that. And, I talked to Troy and I talked to a couple other people, like trying to get myself prepared to do it. So I went in and did it blind. And that was the end of it. And then in 2017, Fox asked me to come do a game on my bye week. So I joined Charles Davis and Kevin Burkhardt. And I did a 3-man booth with them for a game up in Minnesota. So that was when I was playing. In 2019, Fox asked me back to do a game in a 2-man booth with Kenny Albert. And I did a game in New York between the Giants and maybe like the Cardinals or something like that. So it really was just like little tiny small stuff with regional networks and digital stuff that no one ever saw. And then Fox said, hey, come on in, which they do with 1 million guys, right? They do 1 million kind of audition type broadcast games behind closed doors that no one ever sees. And then they asked me, hey, you want to come in on your bye week? And I said, yeah. And really the rest was history. So really it was that 2017 game that I did with Kevin and Charles Davis at the time. And that was really my first moment where I was like, you know what? This calling the game thing might be my way in. Sitting at the studio desk is hard. Those guys have gold jackets. Those guys have resumes a lot different than mine. Those guys are different as far as their caliber of player, from their career. But very few guys want to call games and very few guys can call games. And that was probably my first inclination to like, if you want to do this, calling games is probably your best avenue. And I just kind of dove into it and here I am.
You're really good at it. And that's,
so
I'm close to this,
good.
but there's a lot of people that will just, are more pedestrian sports fans and you make it easy to digest, but also you're good at speaking to the viewer, not like they're stupid, but also informing them. Yeah. It's just, you're very good at it. So just curious if that was something that you always were interested in doing.
Can I ask you, and I know we need to let you go, but I was thinking about this. I fell going up my stairs last night, as I should, because Kevin and I got bombed. But are you loud when you come home in the middle of the night from games?
No.
I didn't mean to be.
No, I'm not. So like the joke in our house is on the days that I'm up earlier or I get home late, I'm like, no lights come on. I'm using the flashlight on my phone. I'm like creeping in. I'm shutting every door super slow. I shut the bathroom door to take a shower. I'm like creeping. I'm like a burglar. The days my wife's up before me or the days it's like a bomb goes off in my house. It's like every door slams, every light's on, the shower's on, the hair dryer's on. I'm like, what is happening? Why? And she's like, oh, sorry. Did I wake you up? I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, you woke me up. So no, I love to sleep. So when other people are sleeping, I refuse to wake them up. It's like a thing. Okay. So I'm very quiet. I'm not waking anyone up. I'm checking all the kids' doors, shutting them. I'm not kissing them to say, hey, daddy's home. Like, I'll see you in the morning. Like, you don't need to see me now. I'm very quiet and conscious of other people when they're sleeping.
What are your thoughts on this? I fall asleep on the couch all the time. And I have a rule, like if I fall asleep on the couch, leave me there. Because now if you wake me up, now I'm going upstairs and I'm not going to fall back asleep. So I probably spend 5 of 7 nights on the couch. And Steve at some point is like, are we going to sleep in the bed together? And I'm like, look, I fell asleep down here, so leave me. So there's like a whole thing of like when he should wake me up, when he shouldn't. I'm like, never wake me up. So do you ever fall asleep on the couch? And
no. My wife falls asleep. My wife falls asleep 100 out of 100 nights. She has never seen the opening credits of a show and the conclusion of a show in her life.
Yeah, that's me. Mm-hmm.
She's a mother.
We have never watched. She's a mother. I mean, she's a mother.
I'm not a mother, and I fall asleep.
So the joke is like, if I waited for her to watch a season of a show, it would take me 3 years because I'd have to watch it. Then I'd have to explain to her what happened. Then I'd have to rewatch the show with her, but we'd only get through half of it. Then the next night we'd pick up the back half of it. I'd re-explain the first half of it.
Fair.
And then we'd start episode 2. I'm like, it took me a week to get to episode 2. I don't have time. I'm done. I'm getting through it.
So you guys don't have that watch. Yeah, you don't have that have to watch the show together thing because it won't work. Yeah,
I can't. It'll take me a year and a half to watch season 1 of Yellowstone. The rest of the world will be on season 5, and we're still sleeping through episode 7.
Fair enough.
It's not going to happen.
I'll tell you what, we're not sleeping through. Your broadcast this coming Sunday. Can't wait for it. Don't know who's playing, but can't wait for it.
We're going to Dallas tomorrow. We're going to Dallas. But we don't worry about that on Mondays. We worry about that on Tuesday morning.
Okay. Take the later
Tuesday morning, 8 a.m.
Take the later flight, by the way. You don't need to come so early.
I did.
Be with your kids.
I booked.
Okay, good.
I booked.
Adorable.
I booked.
We're gonna bring this podcast full circle because the story that everyone is interested in is Taylor and Travis. I need you to give me your best Travis story that you can tell that won't get him in trouble. It's not incriminating. It's just like a fun, lighthearted Travis story because you guys have spent a lot of time together. You are, the tight end community is very close. So give me your best Travis story before we let you go.
And I don't know if it's really a Travis story, but it is a story from our little tight end thing that we do. So Travis and I and George Kittle, the three of us own this entity called Tight End University. And every year we all come together in Nashville and we do like a 2-night, 3-day, whatever you want to call it, like tight end camp. Mm-hmm. And it's a blast. Like it's in June. We look forward to it. So was it either the first or the second year, Levi's did at our welcome party the night before welcome. And I promise this will come full circle. They did like a jean jacket custom shop. I don't know what the hell it's even called. They had like in the corner of the restaurant where we had the welcome party for all the guys. They had like a little, you go, you get fitted for your jacket. You can get patches, you can get logos, you can get whatever. And then you get a jean jacket. So picture 75 6'5" guys. They all look exactly the same. And, throughout the course of the night, I don't want a jacket, but then they have a couple cocktails. They end up with a jacket. So Kittle has this idea that we're going to go to like Jason Aldean's bar or Blake like one of the bars in downtown on the strip, downtown Nashville. Well, so it's like Kelsey, Kittle, and 25 other 6'5" guys, but we're all wearing matching jean jackets. So we're walking down Broadway.
So good.
And Kelsey's never had a bad time in his life.
No.
And Kittle's not far behind him. So I'm more of they call me dad. I'm the guy who makes sure everybody shows up to practice on time. And I'll make sure everybody hey guys, we actually have to do a meeting tomorrow and teach these guys something. That's my job. They are social coordinators. They are the speech makers. They are the life of the party. And I'm cool with that. I'm making sure all the trains run on time. And so here we are. We're walking into this bar. So picture 25, 6'5", 250-pound guys all wearing matching jean jackets with tight end Levi's, all these weird patches. It's a bizarre situation. This is a Boy
Scouts crew if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's we're Eagle Scouts and we made our 7th iron arrow. And we walk into the bar and some guy taps me on the shoulder. He's like, "Is that Travis Kelce?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Is that George Kittle?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Why the fuck are they wearing matching jackets?" So here I am. I'm wearing the same jacket. And I'm like, you know what, dude? That's a great question.
I don't know.
Can I get a picture? Can I get an autograph?
No.
Why are they wearing the same jean jacket?
Why the fuck are they wearing matching?
Right.
And I'm standing next to this random guy at the door wearing the same jacket with 20 other guys.
Well,
and they're
the birds of a feather flock together. That's a group right there. I would have loved to run into the
It's just a great story.
Oh my God.
It's a great time. they are quite the duo.
They're the best. All of you guys are.
Greg Olsen, ladies and gentlemen.
Tight ends are the best.
They really are. Thank you for your generous amount of time, especially on your brief holiday that you have. Thank you for being a great teammate to Erin. And Erin, if you don't make us all those T-shirts and you guys don't have those on your crew this Sunday, I don't know what to say to you.
If I'm not wearing that in my open in Dallas, I quit. Brady can have my seat. I'm done.
Stop. Hey, favorite tale. I know there's a lot of them. 1989, the year Travis was born. My favorite album of hers, also your favorite album. You get one song off of that album.
Wildest Dreams.
Whoa. Really? Mine's Style.
Mine is Red.
You've got that dream.
Look in your eyes. I
like Wildest Dream. I like Red. I just love Wildest Dreams. I like, are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods? Are we in the clear yet? Are we in the clear?
Greg, we were somewhere and we were screaming anti-hero in the car. Where were we? Oh, I think we were in San Fran. We were going to that Mexican restaurant. We were screaming it at the top of our lungs.
I love anti-hero.
Yeah.
I have the street. And we love you.
Yeah,
Greg Olsen,
we love you, Greg.
Thank you for your time. And if you think we're not going to ask you again to weigh in on the male perspective of our female questions, you're wrong.
You crazy.
Ask you again.
Recurring segment.
Love it.
Yep. New news.
I
love
need
you,
a
buddy.
tan.
See you guys.
Love you. Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.